January 28th, the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, will be the site for one of the sport's pound-for-pound best. Talking about the Iron Man, Jermell Charlo, the undisputed 154-pound champion of the world. He will make the first defense of his undisputed title, those 4 belts that he won 7 months ago. And he's going to defend them against the top-ranked, unbeaten, #1 contender. He's the son of a Hall of Famer in Tszyu. This highly anticipated showdown will go down on Showtime Championship Boxing again on Saturday, January 28th from the Michelob Ultra Arena, Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. This event is brought to you by Premier Boxing Champions. It is being promoted by Lions Only Promotions, TGB Promotions, No Limit Boxing, and the Rose Brothers. Here's what you need to know. Tickets for this event went on sale today, and you can purchase your tickets at AXS.com. Again, that is AX as in X-ray, S as in Sam.com. They just went on sale today. Make sure you get your tickets because they will be going fast. The undisputed champion taking on the #1 contender at 154 pounds. We've got both fighters, Tszyu here, Jermell Charlo is here. You're going to hear from both of them. I'm going to ask them some questions. We're going to allow you, members of the media, to ask them questions as well. All we ask is that you hit the raise your hand icon there on the Zoom, and then we will bring you up so that you can ask your questions to the fighters. But before we get to all of that and we hear from the fighters, let me bring on someone who helped make this possible and bring this fight together. He is the president, general manager of Showtime Sports, Mr. none other than Steven Espinoza.
Thanks very much, Brian. 2022 has been a exciting year for Showtime Boxing. We saw in probably the highlight of the year, certainly the most watched fight of the year, Jermell Charlo being crowned as the first 4-belt undisputed champion in the history of the 154-pound division in a thrilling fight against Brian Castano. This year, we also saw Errol Spence becoming a unified champion in a thrilling fight of his own. We saw Stephen Fulton become a unified champion on Showtime. We saw Tank Davis in a record-breaking event at Barclays Center, and we saw breakout performances from Sebastian Fedora and Tszyu here on Showtime as well. We'll end up the year this Saturday with a really intriguing matchup between 2 up-and-coming young stars in Michelle Rivera and Frank Martin. But as strong a year and as exciting as year as 2022 has been, we're confident that 2023 is going to be even bigger and better. And we're not wasting any time. We're going to kick it off with a massive fight in January, 2 massive fights in January. Gervonta Davis, Hector Luis Garcia, January 7th on Showtime pay-per-view. And then January 28th, the undisputed super welterweight title is at stake when Jermell takes on Tszyu. Now, the last time we had Jermell on, as I mentioned, he just delivered a thrilling performance, fight of the year type performance, a fight that was the most watched fight on Showtime in several years. And we expect an even bigger TV audience for this fight, his first defense of that undisputed title. Now, on a side note, there's a narrative that is often espoused in boxing that the top fighters aren't fighting each other, that the top fighters are not taking on the tough challenges. That's not a narrative that I subscribe to, and I think it's demonstrably false. But even if you believe in it, even if you disagree with me, that certainly can't be said of these 2 fighters themselves. If you look at Jermell's last few fights, he's cleaned out the 154-pound division, top fighter after top fighter. Erickson Lubin, Austin Trout, Tony Harrison, Jason Rosario, Brian Castano, and not just victories, but decisive victories. There are currently 4 undisputed 4-belt champions in the sport. Jermell is one of them, the first in the history of the division. And again, also on a side note, he is, I think, without question, a top pound for pound fighter in the sport. There are some outlets that surprisingly don't have him as a top 10 pound for pound fighter. And if you don't, then you're not doing it right. Quite honestly, that's indispensable. It's indefensible, excuse me. Jermell is without question one of the top fighters in the sport. He's proven that time and time again. And if we look at taking on tough fights, well, look, Tszyu is certainly no slouch either. Tim could have certainly said, hey, I'd like to fight a couple more times in the US. I'd like to sort of work my way up to Jermell. But he didn't do that. Very much the spirit of his father, who took on all comers, who took on tough fight after tough fight. Some of the most iconic fights in Showtime boxing history. Tim is following in his footsteps. He demanded this fight. He wanted this fight. Didn't waste any time. Didn't screw around looking for tune-ups. And now you have two of the top fighters in the division willing to go straight to each other without further ado. So we couldn't be more excited to be kicking off the year with such a thrilling fight on Showtime. It was our biggest fight of the year in 2022, and we expect it certainly will be our biggest fight possibly of 2023 as well. So we're thrilled to welcome both these fighters back to Showtime and kick off the year in grand style. Brian?
Okay, Stephen, thank you very much. And he's right. I mean, man, January is going to be something. And at the end of the month, you don't get any bigger than the undisputed champ taking on the unbeaten #1 contender in Tszyu. So let's hear from both of these fighters. Let's start with the man, as he pointed out, who's going to challenge Jermell Charlo for the undisputed title, Tszyu. He is unbeaten. And Tim, this fight is a little bit over 6 weeks away. If you would, give us an opening statement on your thoughts of taking this fight, how camp has been going for you, especially with Christmas and New Year's right around the corner. How do you manage all of that?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to Showtime. Thank you to No Limit for making this fight finally happen. It's been a long time in the making for me. I've been chasing it, so I'm glad it's finally come. And I'm excited to get this opportunity. And just saying from what you just said, Christmas and all that, look, that doesn't matter, man. There's one task in mind, one thing. I came to America 3 weeks ago for a purpose, not to just come here for the fight, but my plan is for victory. So I come here to adapt a bit earlier, and I'll be 100% ready.
Fantastic. Thank you, Tim. And now, the undisputed champ. He got the win 7 months ago. And listen, the first undisputed champion at 154 pounds in this 4-belt era. As we said at the top, we believe one of the sport pound for pound best. Mel, if you would, give us an opening statement on defending your titles for the first time, especially, and how do you navigate that? How's camp's been going, especially with the holidays right around the corner?
I just got to say, life is amazing. It's beautiful. Me being an undisputed champion is just as strong as me being the WBC champion or the WBA champion or the IBF champion or the WO champion. I knew once I got to this point in my life, I would have to face nothing but the top tier guys. And that's all I've ever faced my whole career. That's all I've ever faced my whole life. And I don't underestimate anyone. But Tim Tszyu is not of caliber of Jermell Charlo, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, your father done some things in boxing, and we understand it's a bloodline thing, and I feel you, but my pedigree is strong. My pedigree has been proven, and it's been destined for all of these years and times. This is God's promises. This is God's ordeal, and I'm not going to step in His way or neither question the steps that He's taken for me. I'm excited to be in the ring. This is how I feed my family, pay my bills, and I did a significant job in boxing to a point where, I get to choose who I want. But I've challenged my own self. in every fight that I have and every fight that I've taken, I have stepped to the plate to challenge myself, not these opponents. And y'all know what I do. Y'all know what I get in the ring to do. And it's a don't blink situation at any moment. It don't matter if it's the first round, the 12th round. It don't matter what round it is. It's just who I am. I'm vocal about how I feel about the sport of boxing. I appreciate Tim for, you know, being so hungry because, you know, if you look at all my mandatories and you look at all my #1 guys, right now, he's young, he's hungry, and I'm young and hungry as well. I'm at a good peak and prime of my life, and I'm gonna challenge myself January 28th.
Love it. Tim?
Yeah.
January 28th, you are fighting for the undisputed title. If my math is correct, 27 years ago, your father fought for the world title for the first time as well on that date in Vegas. Is there any significance of that for you?
Yeah. When I got first told about the date, I sort of didn't realize. I don't usually believe in fate. I think destiny and fate is something that you have to work for. But you know, for me, I feel like again, Mel said it himself. It doesn't matter about the bloodline. It's what you yourself put into it, you know. And I've been eyeing this fight out for maybe 2 years now, man. It's been in the back of my mind. I've been looking, studying, obsessing over it. So that's why there was 4 different mandatories that he had to fight, and I was pushing him, man. I was pushing it that hard that this is the fight that I want. This is the test that I need in my career. I don't need some young world champion. I need someone that's out there.
There's only one world champion
at the best. Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
Only one.
A lot of fighters get to pick and choose one world title, or if it's a vacant world title. But I'm telling you, you're the man, bro. I respect that.
Only one of them in this division.
What's that?
There's only one of these world champions in this division.
For now.
I made it easier for you to choose who the best is and who to fight next. I made it easy for you to say, duh, I'm going.
No, I always wanted you, bro, because I always thought you were the best out.
Right. Correct.
You were the best out there. That's why I wanted you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought it was interesting, Tim. I was reading some of the stuff from the Australian Sporting News, and you know, listen, everyone talks about Mel's power, and you said, "Hey, look, don't underestimate me. I can take this guy out." Quote, "I'm here to shock the world spectacularly. I got all the tools to do that. I am leaving this airport and flying over to the United States for a reason. It is kill or be killed." You stand by that?
That's it, man. That's it. This is it for me, man. Kill or be killed.
Wow. Mel, what's your response to that? He believes, hey, look, I'm not only coming here to win, I'm coming here to take the undisputed champion out.
God for my experience, you know, thank God for what I've been through already in life and what I've been through in the ring and how I understand the boxing business. And I mean, it's of course every fighter gets in the ring to you know, want to highlight their night, make a performance of a lifetime. And I'm bringing the thing about it. If he studied me, he realized that he's never the same fighter. Every fight he's different. And with that being said, it's going to be really, really hard. I don't care how much you study me or the old fights or what you see on YouTube or what you see in these videos. I know how to adjust. I make adjustments real precisely. And I take care of myself. I take care of my brain, my body, my mind, and how I flow through every fight and every round. It's important for me to kill. You know what I mean? If that's making any sense, I'm very powerful in both hands, and that's not what I'm really focused on. I focus on speed. I focus on ability, agility, athleticism. It's just so much within this pedigree. I grew up fighting my whole life. Y'all talking about his daddy and all of this stuff. My dad was a whole boxing killer himself, in and out the ring. You know what I'm saying? And so what I possess is just undeniable. It's just I'm very thankful. I'm not even high horsing me up. You know what I'm saying? I walk around like a normal person. I'm very humble in the end of the day because, you know, we all come to fight. We all come to win. Much respect to any boxer getting in that ring. But I just know that I'm different. I'm different. You know, I'm different from anybody that's in that top pound for pound. You know, and I don't get the respect I deserve, and I keep that energy. You know what I mean? And I float that whole way through this. Without me getting the respect that I deserve, that's why I'm still in this game. I made millions of dollars in boxing. You know, multi-millions of dollars in boxing. So we ain't worried about that. We ain't worried about a bunch of things. You know, what they got on their mind is completely not the same as what I got on mine. Simple as that.
Well, one thing that it seems like you both have on the mind is a stoppage in this fight, because, you know, on social media, Mel, you were quoted, you heard what Tim had said, and you said, quote, "I should be giving you one of the most spectacular knockouts that night." Is that your plan?
That's what I do. That's what I do. I ain't making this up. You know, I've proven that with multiple people, different opponents, undefeated fighters. They never been the same after they got in the ring with me. You know, I didn't wipe through so many fighters because I stayed fast on my focusness. You know, I'm dead serious about how I feel about it. And, you know, I got children and I got family to feed, and it's different. It's a different energy in America.
Tim, I wanted to read something to you. I was reading the Boxing News right after you fought Terrell Gausha, which was obviously your first fight here in the States. And it talked about your victory. And the writer said the fight showed that Tszyu seems to have problems with boxers that have immense talent, athleticism, and the ring smarts. Isn't that a description of Jermell Charlo?
Did I win though?
You did win that fight.
That doesn't make any sense, man. If I lost, then I'd understand, but I won. Yeah. So I can't really comment on that question.
Did you feel slighted because so many people said, "Oh my God, he got dropped in that fight," and had Terrell Gausha continued the way at the beginning, he should have won that fight or could have won that fight. Did you feel slighted at all after getting that victory?
No, man. As soon as I went down, I wasn't hurt or nothing. Just little flash, and then I dominated for the rest of the fight. You know, and Terrell Gausha, he's not a bum. They didn't just find him out of nowhere. He's a talented opponent, and he went to the Olympics. He had a great career. Look, Tyson Fury went down. Some people have been down and then just get back up. That's all that matters. That's, whatever life hits you, throws at you, just get back up. That's my mentality.
I know it's been about 6 years, but I hear that obviously on January 28th will be a special night for you because your Hall of Fame father is going to be by your side for this fight.
Yeah, it'll be good. He hasn't been to any of my fights except my first fight, so it would be good to have people that have been there, done that, walking out with you. It brings a cool energy, that's for sure.
Mel, what is Tszyu? What does he not know about you that he's going to find out that night on January 28th?
I'm weird as shit. I'm weird all the way around.
Weird.
Yep. Weird. Yep.
What's weird?
You Google it. Google that word. It's a word. Google it. It's weird. I'm weird. I'm weird in the ring. I'm weird everywhere around. I'm weird. Different. All right. Yeah.
I thought it was interesting, Tim. Tim, you said when someone asked you about Jermell Charlo, you said, "I just think he's just an arrogant, angry old man." Explain that to me.
Yeah, well, look, I think after the fight, after his fight with Castano, he's sitting in the press conference. He's just like, Tszyu, and then he's going off at different reporters. I was like, man, this guy just won the Undisputed World Championship, man. You'd have a smile on your face at least.
Mel, he says you're arrogant and an angry guy. Your response to that?
Hey, I'm about my business, man. I ain't arrogant. I'm humble. And I've been through humble lessons in life. I've been places and things that he's never done. I'm not enjoying my fight with your Australian media asking me questions. If y'all wanted to ask me questions after the fight, y'all should have did that and tried to call up and see how much it's gonna cost to get an interview with me. Not no come bomb rushing. Don't bomb rush my moment of enjoying my life. And after going through some tough rounds and ask me about him, you know, that ain't even the moment of taking a fight. You know what I'm saying? I didn't take that fight because of that. I took that fight because that's what I have next. You know, if they say he up there in the rankings and he tough and this and this and that, what else am I gonna fight? I'm at the top, dog. I ain't gonna be wasting time. I don't care about you talking about me arrogant. Y'all might like nice and flashy and good. I'm a black man in America. It ain't easy nowhere in this country or this world. So ain't no arrogance. You're wrong. You're wrong when you come down to that. I take care of more people than you ever seen. I know who Glenn is. Glenn, your manager. I know all of these people. I do my study and I do my background. I know your whereabouts. I know everything that's going on in my life. I'm not here to go ahead and splash it all and tell you, look, let me enjoy my win and that's it. You can't tell me how to act or how to be. I handle business, bro. I
wasn't the one that questioned you, man. It was just the media. So
the media. Then they had
don't put it back on me. Like I did something wrong.
Hey Tim, one reporter, Mike Carpenter, that ESPN guy, the same people you see, it'd make you look better if I was on your top pound for pound. Ain't you fighting the top dog? If you don't believe that I'm top 10, then you a hater just like them.
Who? I don't believe that you're pound for pound.
I'm correct. I'm pound for pound top 10.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that, bro.
That motherfucker's a top 10.
I agree with that. I agree that you're in the top.
Right. So what I was checking was those haters that were talking crap to me before those fights, and I was checking them motherfuckers that didn't believe in me. I'm handling my business. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and then they still down me. They can't black card me. They can't blacklist me. My world don't revolve in y'all world. I'm out this world, baby.
What's this got anything to do with me, man?
You the one that spoke on my arrogancy. You spoke on me worried about a fight. See, are you losing it? You the one that just said after a fight I should have been enjoying my win, right? I did enjoy my win. I didn't let the world see how I enjoyed my win. And I made more money than you ever made outside of boxing.
Here's the thing before we get
to
that.
It's not all about money, is it?
Right.
After that fight.
Before we get to the media.
That fight, I still made more money than you ever made in even your whole career.
How do you even know?
I know this, baby. I do mine. I do this. Right.
I know there are members of the media that's got some questions. Before we get to them, Tim, for the hundreds of thousands, maybe 1 million people that's going to watch this fight, the people who are going to pay their good money to come out to Vegas to watch this fight. Can you tell us why they should pay their hard-earned money, turn on Showtime Championship Boxing, and watch Tszyu take on Jermell Charlo?
It's going to be a new king in the division. That's why.
Wow, short and sweet. Okay, Mel, same thing to you. For the hundreds of thousands, people are going to come out to pay their good money to Vegas. They want to see the undisputed champ. Tell us why they should pay their hard-earned money to come watch you defend your titles against Tszyu.
My preparation is what makes these people really want to come and view me. I really don't care less. I care less what they really think or feel or say. They come because I give entertainment. I'm full entertainment, baby. And not just in that ring because I'm deadly too. It's just like, it's just all around who I am. I feel that I worked my ass off my whole life, my whole career. I've been boxing over 20 years. I ain't just start this. And I'm dedicated. I'm more dedicated than I ever been. I like when they talk because my nickname is Mr. Keep Running Your Mouth. But I have shut up a lot of people that felt like they was what Tim say he is. I'm doing my job, and I come to do my job very well at the best of my ability.
Love it. All right, we got members of the media. I know you guys got questions for them. Andrew Roberts from Swanson is here, communications. He's going to name you, and then you can ask your question for Tszyu and, of course, the undisputed champion, Jermell Charlo.
Thanks very much, Brian. Our first question is going to come from Keith Idek with Boxing Scene. Keith, please unmute yourself and you can ask your questions.
Thanks, Andrew. My first questions are for Jermell. Jermell, it seems like a pretty big step up here for Tszyu coming from the guys that he's fought to you. How big of a step up do you feel this is for him, and do you feel that he's ready for that type of fight?
Ain't nobody ready for me in my division, man. I ain't listening to that. If he ready, he ready. Everybody come ready. Everybody training their ass off. Boxing is boxing. You hit and don't get hit. You hit and get hit. It's punching. You know, we come to entertain you fans and entertain you people that got a lot to say about us.
Jermell, you're fighting earlier in the year than you usually fight here in January. If you ideally could map out the year for you, how many times would you fight? And also, do you plan on just, making these mandatories one after the other to get them out of the way, so to speak, or is there something else that interests you that you'd like to get done this year?
Man, I'm just want to fight. I want to fight more than I ever fought. I want to, show, since the man called me an old man. I ain't never thought I was old man. I'm young, handsome, look good, skin tight, everything right on me. I don't know what kind of old man he talking about. Shit, if you think I'm old, then you got some bigger problems for yourself. Because you old.
Who called you old? I don't know. Tszyu called you old?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Called me old.
It was me. I didn't call you old.
Well, that's what your media said.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Jermell. I appreciate it, man. Tim, did you call Jermell old? Is that what do you think he's old or no?
No, I said he's at his peak. I didn't say he's old. The bloke's 32 years old. How is
Only
he old?
God know where I'm my peak at. You ain't know. Nobody control my peak but God.
Huh?
Go ahead, Matt. Move
Yeah,
on to the next question.
Tim, I just you said something earlier that your dad has only attended your first fight. Why is that? Why hasn't he been to any of your fights since then?
My dad's living overseas, so no real reason, man.
Just logistically, it just didn't happen until
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of people think that Jermell really should be undefeated. They think that he won the first fight against Tony Harrison, which was a very close fight, which he of course came back to avenge in their rematch and knock him out. Why do you feel like you're the guy that's going to be the first person to beat him definitively?
Oh, look, I'm not here for a debating contest to say who's going to win and how am I going to beat him. This isn't debating for me, and to prove myself, I just have to show it in the ring. That's it. Quite simple. I possess a lot of skills as well, so that's all that's needed. January 28th, we show it.
Tim, like you said, Terrell Gaucher is not, you use this word, he's not a bum, obviously. He was there for a reason. But how much of a step up do you feel this is for you? Because Jermell is clearly the class of the division.
Oh, 100%. I'm not lying there. This is the toughest test. This is the king of the division, This is the benchmark. But if you wanna be great, you gotta do great things, and this is part of it.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Jermell.
Thank you, Keith. Our next question is going to come from Mike Rosenthal with Boxing Junkie. Mike, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Hey guys, first Tim, I don't have to tell you, this is obviously the pinnacle of the sport. When did you first realize that this was possible for you, and how does it feel? Does it feel any different from your other fights?
In all honesty, man, this actually just feels like any other fight. I'm not nervous. I'm nice and relaxed. Everything's just going through the motions, sparring, just been grinding it out, man. So nah, man, it just feels like normal. The occasion's going to be big, undisputed. It doesn't get any bigger. It's like the Super Bowl grand final. It's the NBA finals as well. It's equivalent to that type of the Mecca. So yeah, I'm nice and relaxed. I'm taking it day by day, and to me, it's just any other fight.
What about the first part of my question? When did you first realize that this was a possibility for you? You could be in this position one day.
What, to fight?
To be at the pinnacle of the sport.
Oh, it's when I found out about the fight, I was super excited because I was pushing it so hard with my promoters. This is the fight that I wanted, and I didn't think I was going to get it this early in my career.
Okay. All right. For Jermell, a lot of guys, after they become undisputed, it's kind of the trend now. They tell themselves, "I've cleaned out the division. It's time to move on." And I've heard people say you might move up to middleweight. How much longer do you see yourself staying at 54?
My whole career. I have a twin brother at 160. I have a stablemate at 147. We all comfortably make the weight, and whatever happens in the future, I can't predict. And I'm just ready to get it on as fast as y'all ready to see it. So I don't know how the rest of the time playing. I make 54 very easy. I'm 10 pounds overweight. I'm sharp. I'm in shape. I don't go and talk about, all of what I do. This is a lifestyle for me. Boxing is not just a sport where we're trying to win titles. We're going to win it. We're going to enjoy it later. We're going to enjoy it when we sit back in our big mansions and chill with our families and homies and stuff. And we like, wow, we did it. And then sometimes you sit back, we made it this far, but it's just not done for me. It's not over for me. I'm just too hungry at this moment.
Great. I think you mentioned, I think somebody else here mentioned that not everybody has you in the top 10 pound for pound. How do you think that's possible based on what you've accomplished? Or why do you think that's the case where some people leave you out?
I guess in the pound for pound, you got to be liked, and you got to be on the other side of the river, in the road. You got to be with certain people. I fought on ESPN when I was younger, coming up in the game. Made it to pay-per-views and made it to different shows and did so many amazing things outside of boxing. I don't know what you need to do. I don't know who need to be writing this stuff, but I'm almost guaranteed just those people got a personal way that they feel about me. And I'm not here to make you happy. I got a woman to make happy. I ain't here to making y'all happy. I'm making no boxing reporter happy.
Got it. Okay, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Mike. As a reminder to the media, if you have any questions, please hit that raise hand icon at the bottom of your screen. Our next question is going to come from Cody K with Fox Sports News Australia. Cody, please unmute yourself and you can ask your questions.
Timmy, sitting here and listening to all this, I know this is a moment that you waited for a really long time, but do you get the sense that in the States still that you're nobody? I mean, I know that you're a big deal in Australia, but you come over here and you've always felt that in the States they're looking past you. Do you still feel that way?
You know what? It's sort of changed a little bit. I guess there's a bit more respect now. But like, in Australia, it was sort of a big fish in a small pond, and now it's completely different. And as I said before, it's sink or swim now. You're in the big ocean right now, and this is where it all matters.
How much more improvement do you think you've got in you between the Gachet fight and now?
I think for me, it's not fighting with emotion and fighting with my brains. When you're able to do that, then you're a different fighter.
Jermell, to you, your last 16 odd fights have all been world title fights. You've been fighting in 10 fights have been world title fights. You've been fighting 4 world titles since before Tim turned pro. Tim's obviously never fought a fight this big, and I just wonder for you as a guy that's been fighting all these world champions, are you as hungry to fight a guy like Tim that isn't as decorated as you or the guys that you fought recently?
You could do the comparison and you could realize that I've been doing this, and Tim Tszyu is just another fighter that come to fight hard, strong. He got his own country, and I love it. I love to fight guys from different countries because when I'm done with boxing one day, I might go ahead and hang out with Tim somewhere in Sydney on the big islands or somewhere chilling and kangaroo meat. And we're going to be, talking about this shit when we're 50 years old, and we're going to be like, damn. And those fans going to be pulling up on us and taking pictures, and it's going to be amazing. I'm going all over the world with it. I'm just going to do it from America.
Has Tim got the skills to compete at the top of the division? Have you seen enough from Tim to believe that he is a dangerous fighter for you?
And boxing is boxing. Everybody dangerous. Everybody got a chance. Everybody got opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I can't really just make a decision and say, oh, he's this and that. But I know there's better fighters in the division than him. There's some hungry fighters in the division. He's just one of the hungriest. He got the opportunity. We can't judge that's God's timing right there. His opportunity came before a lot of other fighters. And then there was a lot of other fighters that opportunity came before him. So it's all about what I got to get in there and do. And y'all get the best Jermell Charlo. Every fight is important. Every fight is a legacy fight for me. And that's what I stand real strong by. I got a good team. I got good backing, good management. I got good everything. Support system is different. I'm a twin. That also gives a little bit of love to what I do in the boxing, and it separates me. And I feel like now I've separated myself from my twin brother, and which one is hungry. Which one is a dog. Not that my brother not hungry and a dog, but it's just like my competition was when I was born and raised. I was in competition early in life. So and we watched and studied the best fighters in the world coming up. I'm not none of these people his daddy fought, because I guess we can't talk about Tim fighting, right? We can't talk about the fighters that he fought. We're gonna stay focused on the fighters his dad fought. I'm not those fighters either. You know what I'm saying? It's a different genre and a different generation. And I stand strong by how I feel about this sport and the game and where I'm at.
All right, great. Thank you for that, Cody. Our next question is going to come from Hans Semasode from Boxing Insider. Hans, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Hey guys, what's going on? Jermell, just wanted to know. So let's just say you beat Tim Tszyu on the 28th, and for whatever reason, you're just like, you know what? I'm good off this boxing thing, man. Do you think you've done enough to make the Hall of Fame right then and there, man?
I already made the Hall of Fame to me. I already done enough. I'm the first undisputed world champion in 4-belt era at 154. Do you believe I did enough? You know what I'm saying? I believe there's fighters that haven't done, that's in the Hall of Fame already, that hasn't done what I've done. You know, I'm a legend already, baby. I'm a living legend.
Yeah, I mean, I do think you're a Hall of Famer, and just for clarity, I have
that question. Then you should have had a better question.
Please, give me a break, man.
Why would I give you a break? You came on this thing talking to us.
All right, brother.
Come at me correct. You come at me correct. I'm a legend. Do you believe it? Do you believe it? You already said you believe it.
I do believe it, man. I got you on my top 5 pound for pound list too, man. Give me a break.
I appreciate that.
Sheesh. But yeah, no, my next question for you is I know you said you make the weight comfortable. You don't really envision yourself moving up. Your brother's at 60, Spencer's at 47. But is it kind of as simple as, if your brother moves up to 68, then you'll be like, okay, I'm gonna move up to 60?
If there's opportunity for me, you know what I'm saying? It's not really made for. I'm loving what I'm doing in the division. You make it this far, you don't want to be moving up in weight to go back down to another level and try to keep. Like right now, I'm good. I'm good where I'm at. I'm Mario, and I'm already the big Mario.
Gotcha. And just my last question. Just wanted to know if shoot. Sorry, can you
think about it? Thank you. Think about it, bro. I'm here.
No, sorry about that. Just wanted to know if you had any thoughts on Crawford saying, I know you guys have been going back and forth and stuff like that, but I just wanted to know if you had any thoughts on Crawford saying that, eventually when he does fight you, he'll beat you pretty easily, and probably just your overall thoughts on him beating Avanesian via 6-round knockout.
Now, I didn't get to see his fight. I've never heard of what he's done. I never heard of his opponent. I've been really focused on what I got in front of me, and I'm not even worried. Man, everybody say they're going to beat somebody, this and that. Man, I don't say, all I see is him riding off the names of the PBC fighters. He ain't even trying to really fight nobody for real. These people over here is a whole different ball field. You know what I'm saying? He playing in the AFL. I'm NFL. Top tier. Got to all the rings. I'm Tom Brady. The black one.
All right. Thank you for that, Hans. Our last question is going to come from Adrian Romero with Fight Sports. Adrian, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Hey, how you doing, guys? The first one's for Jermell. So you said a little earlier that every fight for you is a legacy fight. So what exactly do you want your legacy to be?
I want it to be what it is right now. I want it to be undisputed. Now I want to defend them. And when you think of Jermell Charlo, you know a ferocious animal that's coming in that ring. He for real about everything he do, every move he make. Very, very intelligent in the ring, smart outside the ring, made a living for himself, and building more boxing and legacies and around me, people that's trying to come up in the game and want to do something great in boxing and change their life, put the guns down, put some gloves in their hand. People that's, doing some things almost similar to Jake Paul. Just it's a lot of fighters out there that don't get a lot of attention. It's fighters out there that's great, but they just can't get that opportunity. And I just want to one day be able to link up with Stephen Espinoza, and we put on some great shows and great cards, and they all be part of that lion pack.
Awesome. Love that. Thank you. And last one for Tim. So basically same question for you. People keep bringing up your father, but what do you, Tim Tszyu, want your legacy to be?
In all honesty, just to inspire as many people as you possibly can through boxing. Boxing is we get this attention, we get a lot of people watching, tuning in. So if you can turn it into a positive energy where people, get up from the couch, or people just change their lives, I think that's the main thing.
Awesome. Thank you both and best of luck.
All right. Thank you, Adrian. And thank you both, Jermell and Tim, for your time today. That's a wrap on our media questions. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Brian Custer to wrap things up for us.
Okay, thank you, Drew. Guys, let's wrap this up here. Let's get a final comment for everybody watching. Tszyu, we'll start with you. January 28th, you're fighting for the undisputed title. What if there's one thing you can guarantee us? What can you guarantee us on January 28th?
Non-stop action. Keep them belts keep them belts shiny, because I'm coming to grab them.
Okay, man of a few words, but powerful. I like it. Okay, Mel Charlo, same thing to you. January 28th, you make your first defense of the undisputed title. Those belts that you've worked so hard for. If there was one thing you can guarantee the people that they're going to get on January 28th, what is that you Jermell Charlo, guarantee?
Fight to the death, me. Be the killer that I am.
I like it.
Well wishes to you and your family in Australia and everybody. Happy holidays to all y'all. And I just want to see, the world change and be a better place. And just, it's, like I said, we doing everything we can on this end.
I love it. I love it. Folks, it all goes down on January 28th in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, on Showtime Championship Boxing. One of the pound-for-pound best, Jermell Charlo, makes the first defense of his undisputed titles against the unbeaten #1 contender in Tszyu. You do not want to miss this fight. It will take place at the Michelob Ultra Arena at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Vegas. Tickets on sale today at AXS.com. Again, AXS.com. Make sure you tune in to Showtime on January 28th. Make sure you tune in to Showtime this coming Saturday for our fights in Vegas this coming Saturday. And don't forget January 7th as well. For the Undisputed Champ.
What up, YouTube family? Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that 1 million subscribers. We're on the road to 1 million. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content, or right here on our YouTube members.